Donald Trump promised we'd be tired from all the winning. Turns out, losing makes you tired too. This is just another day. Right now, the House of Representatives is debating the passage of Donald Trump's tax and spending bill, hoping to get it passed by July 4th. It is an artificial deadline for a bill that is, as you can tell by their ringing endorsements, artificially great.
I think we probably got as good a product as we're going to get.
I will say that this bill is as good as it's going to get.
Wow. I sincerely hope you guys didn't crib some of that from your wedding vows. How unbelievably unsurprising that a product Donald Trump marketed to the American people as top of the line is now showing itself to be subpar. Where have I seen that before besides, everywhere? Republicans are now racing to pass a bill that they crafted, which will increase our nation's debt by $3 trillion, leave 17 million Americans uninsured, and deprive food assistance from the people who need it most. And when asked why the rush, their response is, hey, it is what it is. Well, you made it what it is. And what makes the inadequacy of this bill even more apparent is that there was actually a time when they were very excited about what this bill could offer.
So what I can tell you is I'm very proudly supporting this bill.
This thing is good, and it enacts the things that President Trump campaigned on. You know it's a good bill because the left hates it.
What an odd goal for an elected official, just writing a bill solely because the other side will hate it. That would be like the Democrats writing a bill imposing federal charges for sex trafficking. Now that the details of their bill have been exposed, Republicans aren't even trying to celebrate their signature piece of legislation anymore. They're just throwing their hands up and dubbing their current situation as a fait accompli.
Do I like this bill? No, because I tried to take care of Alaska's interests. But I know that in many parts of the country, there are Americans that are not going to be advantaged by this bill. I don't like that.
Now, I'm going to throw out a crazy idea here. I mean, I'm just coming out of left field here and throwing caution to the wind. But if you don't like it, here's an idea. Don't vote for it. The passage of this bill in the Senate was not a done deal. J.D. Vance had to take time off from poisoning popes to break a tie, which means Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski had actual, real leverage. And sure, if she exercised that leverage, I guarantee Donald Trump would have given her the same treatment that her fellow Republicans got, like Thomas Massie and Tom Tillis. He would have trashed her online and then congratulated himself by coming up with some ill-thought-out nickname like Little Lisa and threatened to fund a primary challenger. But then she still would have been walking the halls of Congress saying,
I don't like that.
So why not take a stand? Honestly, I haven't seen this much diminished enthusiasm since RFK Jr. told his grandkids he was taking them swimming, only to drive them to the bacteria basin. But since this bill's inception, no one has been a bigger champion for it than Speaker of the House and guy who needs his son to monitor his porn intake, Mike Johnson.
I tell you what, everybody is going to benefit from this bill.
One big, beautiful bill, because it's got everything. This will be the most consequential legislation that Congress has passed in generations. Truly, it's going to revolutionize everything that we care about. And he wants to have a signing ceremony on Independence Day. I mean, it would be epic.
Well, sure. I mean, when you've completely cut yourself off from masturbation, I can see how a July 4th signing ceremony might start to seem pretty epic. But what do you know, now that voters are finding out what's actually in the bill, the speaker seems to have softened his language.
We can't make everyone 100% happy. It's impossible.
Not possible? My dude, you convinced your 17-year-old son to get an alert on his phone every time his dad looked at a pair of boobs.
My accountability partner right now is Jack, my son, right? And so he's 17. So he and I get a report of all the things that are on our phones or all of our devices once a week. If anything objectionable comes up, your accountability partner gets an immediate notice.
So, Mike, if anyone can accomplish the impossible, it's you. The reality is that the Republicans have lost all their will to defend this bill. The most recent Fox News poll shows 59% of Americans oppose it, and to that they say,
Right now there's polling out there that says whatever.
Wow. If Jim Jordan ignored that poll anymore, you'd have thought it was his college wrestlers getting molested. Anyone else want to give it a shot?
Why are we currently not getting 2.8% growth today with the assumption if the CBO is at 1.8 and the administration's at 2.8, and part of what we're talking about here is extending the tax cuts that are already in place. And yes, you're going to capture no tax on tips, and maybe that'll drive some of this. But what is going to get you to the 2.8 number?
It's Donald Trump.
God, it is so unfair how people keep saying you guys are in a cult. Republicans are finally having to atone for an America that Donald Trump promised would come to fruition. A glorious, magical utopia, a place where everybody shits cash and filling up your Hummer at the gas station costs a nickel.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning.
This is the golden age, as Paul said. We're talking about the golden age. There will never be a time like this. We're doing great.
Trump says we're doing great, but I think it's more of a Great Depression great. Like everything else Donald Trump has slapped his name on, this golden age is a complete scam. And day by day, his sycophantic followers are finding less impressive ways to defend his actions.
President Trump is talking about this bill leading to growth in the economy. We are waiting any moment now to get the jobs numbers for the month of May. The expectations call for the ADP numbers to be up 95,000 for the month of June, rather. It's the June jobs data, and we'll, of course, right now seeing the number actually show a decline in jobs, down 33,000 on ADP. The bill includes $25 billion for the Golden Dome, the missile defense system.
Wow, I have not seen someone ignore a number like that since Mike Johnson's son got a call from his dad to say that he was still not jerking off. Where is this golden age again? America's jobs numbers are down, our GDP shrank 0.5%, and all those Liberation Day tariffs are actually costing us money.
This is the monthly numbers, and they have gone up a lot. June is actually set for another big increase of $27 billion. That is money coming into U.S. coffers from tariffs.
Hey, $27 billion ain't bad. Until you remember that it's a tax on Americans. Bragging about how much money America is raking in when Americans are the ones paying is like saying that you got a free mansion and it only cost you $10 million. Donald Trump has made empty promise after empty promise while also ushering in an era of dire market instability, a heightened level of fear for all minorities, and a total lack of faith that his entire political party will abide by the Constitution. And like every other Republican, when he gets called on any of it, his excuse is, well, pretty much what you'd expect.
But you've now been in office for 5 months and 5 days. Why have you not been able to end the Ukraine war?
Because it's more difficult than people would have any idea.
Yeah, sorry, it is the exact amount of difficult everyone assumed, which is why no one else said they could end the war in one day. If this current era of economic chaos and autocratic demagoguery is supposed to be our great golden age of winning, well then when it's all over, I will be so thrilled someone is going to get an alert on their phone from me. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.